So game number 1 of the series is here, MbL versus Liereyy. Extremely important set for MbL. This is going to be the last set for him. He needs to get a clean sweep against Liereyy to have any chances of staying in the Platinum League. And Liereyy, on the other hand, well, Lierey's sitting comfortably in second spot over here, and losing the set over here is not really going to represent any dangers for him in terms of getting demoted. And then he would still have one more series to go through. That's going to be Liereyy versus Mysterio, which will take place, or at the very least, we will cast those after the series, right? Today, we are getting done all the missing sets from TTL. In case you're curious about the schedule for today, there was Liereyy versus Mysterio. Oh, actually, you know what? That took place already. That took place live, actually. Apparently, and I missed it. MbL versus Bacti took place afterwards. Then MbL versus Liereyy is taking place right now. So my bad. Liereyy versus Mysterio already took place, I believe. Is that the case? Do let me know. Once again, I was not casting the first two sets today because I was casting on Neely's channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry, but those two sets are not coming up. Or maybe they are. Maybe they are. Depending on how I'm feeling about offline casting those two that I did not cast here, so just so that I can say that I had 100% coverage at the group stage. But yeah, it probably doesn't matter, especially after we take a look at the standings after this series. It's going to be quite clear what the results were for the first two anyway, and I already know what the results were for the second series. So I guess the chances are I'm not going to provide coverage for those. But taking a look down south, Lierey's playing with the Chinese. This is Kilimanjaro the players are playing on. And for the Chinese, they will begin with 3 extra villagers, 200 less food and 50 less wood because of it. However, they do have 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support per thesis. They will also get 10, 15, and 30% cheaper upgrades in the Field Castle and Imperial Ages, in addition to the team bonus, which will give them 10% extra food on farms. And there's a little scout skirmish taking place right now. Liereyy and MbL are going at it. And the village is coming over from Liereyy, so MbL cannot commit to the engagement at all. And that was so close! MbL almost gets another hit, and he does get the scout down, but he does end up losing his own scout as well. And Liereyy is just getting the house up over here just in time. Both these players will continue playing blindfolded from this point onwards. Let's take a look at that. Liereyy has no idea of anything, of course, naturally, and MbL is the only player who knows where his opponent is. At the very least, there is that. It's gonna have a little bit of a higher score as well. I would imagine that's probably coming from scouting. And the work count is a little higher for Liereyy, 1 higher by the time MbL gets a loan. That's going to be 2 higher for Liereyy, and that's just what you're expecting to see from the Chinese, of course. And yes, sir! We talked about Liereyy civilization. MbL with the Hindustanis is going to get from 10 to 25% cheaper villagers. The dark to the Imperial Age, increments of 5%. We'll see for the Hindustanis, also 25% faster attacking camels. +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, and for the team bonus, +2 bonus damage against buildings from camels, like cavalry and hussar units. Map generation next, and taking a look at Liereyy. We're gonna see in the first place that we have the main goal on the right hand side. We're gonna have the secondary goal on the left hand side towards the north. While for stone instead, we're gonna see stone down south. There is another one on the left hand side. And Liereyy is starting the walls up already, so he should find himself pretty safe over here. And it's not going to take too much, especially he's already been going for this. So long as he doesn't commit too many villagers to the walls, he should be able to wall himself up, and he should be able to secure the stone over here. Not so much the gold though, so that is not ideal. Unless he went for some walls like this perhaps, which will be kind of awkward, but he could try. And then we'll have the woodlines on the back, which are fine. Taking a look at MbL's map generation on the other hand, the red player, he's got the main goal on the back. He's gonna have the secondary goal forward, and this goal is already such a departure and a nice departure, you know, from Lierey's map generation. Instead, he's got the main stone on the back as well, and this is beautiful. If he gets the walls like this, right, he completely secures himself. Secures the back line, secures the goal, secures the stone, secures the berries, even. And he's not going for it just yet, but once again, Liereyy is the only player who doesn't really know where MbL is. MbL feels a sense of safety because of it, and he is, on the other hand, pretty sure where Liereyy is located because that's where he lost the scout. And he's gonna start putting pressure very soon. The spearman's on the way for MbL. We see another spearman on the way. He's got a stable already up, so scouts are on the way also for MbL and Liereyy. He's going for archers. There we are. Liereyy is finishing the walls. He did have to commit probably a few extra villagers than what I would assume he was hoping for. But at the very least, with the Chinese, he does have extra villagers to work with in the first place. This is open on the left-hand side, though. I'm not really sure if he realizes about it. I think he might not. I think he might not realize. You know, MbL, he's got the scouts. This could be good. This could be good for MbL, guys. These games are taking place live. And here comes MbL as Liereyy has not realized about the opening on the left-hand side. MbL is probably going to try to just target one of these palisades, most likely. Not quite. He is going. He is going. And Liereyy realizes about it. Now he's going to try to get the quick walls up over here. But is that going to be actually close? I think it's going to be. Just in time, Liereyy gets the walls up and prevents MbL from coming in. That could have been catastrophic for the Bull player, but the reaction has been absolutely perfect. He's played Tetris with the walls and managed to place a barricade exactly where he needed it. Up in the north, we have a spearman coming in from Liereyy, and he did take the ostriches down by the looks of it. Which is unfortunate. Liereyy is going to continue collecting from the one that he's got left still. MbL, that is. And Liereyy, well, Lierey's getting housed. A little bit. Yeah, but he's fine. The villagers will continue pumping just fine. And as such, as now both players will be completely walled off, and we haven't really seen a ton of damage from the fuel H whatsoever. Let's take into account the kill ostrich, perhaps. Well, these players will be trying to make a play for the castle H, and it seems like right now Liereyy is significantly farther ahead compared to MbL. Yes, sir. Pressure coming in from MbL as well. Liereyy it's going to struggle a little bit. And here comes MbL. One extra layer of defenses. Get through, but Liereyy unleashes his archers in front of the skirmishers. Liereyy it's going to get cleaned up over here if MbL places his cards right, and you know what? He's coming in already as he's over foraged. His villagers will find themselves exposed to the scouts, and that's gonna be 1, 2, 3 villagers going down. Liereyy goes back into the TC, but the damage has already been done. 4 villagers total, as a matter of fact. Yeah, and MbL continues roaming around as well. One of the scouts is half HP. Yeah, the one not in the best position for sure, but notice how he's being very careful about this. He's not going to engage red with the weak scouts instead, just trying to get some damage done with the skirmishes instead. So MbL really getting for that 3-0. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the goal over here. Now, whether he is going to over or undershoot, well, I'm not really sure how he'll be able to overshoot, but if he's going to undershoot over here, that's still something we'll have to find out. Liereyy, remember he's playing with the Chinese, so he already had a 2 worker lead for the majority of the game over here. And if we take a look at the gather economy time, still looking better for Liereyy, so he's going out to the castle edge earlier. Shouldn't really struggle too much to catch back up in working count if he does get the extra TCs up. And given the head start that he's got to the castle edge of 1 minute and 7 seconds, if he does end up going for extra TCs, he should be able to catch up in population, or in work count in any case. And MbL is going to continue trying to get the villagers down. He can't do it anymore. The scouts crumbled. Skirmishers struggling big time. They will go down. The weak villagers from Liereyy, he's paying attention to as well. Garrison those. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Well done. Triple archer range for MbL though. Interesting approach. Against the Chinese, mind you. It's gonna try and make a play for full archers. You know, kind of makes me wonder. He's got 2 archers queued up, right? So it seems like he is intended to go for the full archer play over here. But we did see in the past, I think it was Nikov who tried to make a play for cavalry archers with the Hindustanis. That is not bad in the Castle Age, but they do not scale the best in the Imperial Age anymore. Back in the day, Indians will have fully upgraded cavalry archers, but that's no longer the case. Not for Hindustanis, that is. There we are. Liereyy. By the head start he got to the castle age, does manage to get the upgrades up earlier in MbL. MbL is going for crossbow man. He's going for bucking arrows. He's got only 5 archers so far. Reduce that to 3 actually. He gets a crossbow upgrade, but the knights will take care of these guys. Here we go, second TC is up for MbL. This is so good though for Liereyy. Getting some of the villagers down over here will allow him to catch right back up. At the very least, that should be the case. In working count, he's gone for wheelbarrow. MbL's got wheelbarrow himself as well. Eco upgrades are looking better for Liereyy as he's got bow. So in addition to double bit axe and horse collar, which MbL has gone for. Both is on the way now for MbL as well, but Lierey's got certainly a lot of potential for damage over here. The knights will make a big difference. Then MbL will get some free damage over here as Liereyy was not paying attention to the crossbows. Now he is. But this has already been taking a few losses and the knights are coming over. Trying to get this round going against crossbows. Won't be able to. And Liereyy gets pushed back. Down south. Liereyy is sticking to 1 TC only. He's got double archer range production, so it's not the best, but he does have the stable as well. If he does keep on going for extra knights, yeah, that's going to be probably a little bit better compared to MbL, who's just going for the triple archer range, right? Well, maybe. It really depends on MbL's numbers and upgrades as well. Like right now, he does not have ballistics, which helps quite a lot. Liereyy does not have ballistics either, to be fair. But there we go, it's on the way for MbL and Liereyy. I don't think he's got a university, actually. He doesn't have a university. He's going for the second TC at the center. And MbL is looking good, guys. MbL is borrowing a page from Hera's book over here. He's got it on the lead, and he's trying to extend onto his lead. He's got a third TC on the way. Yeah, and the food situation for MbL is not the best. He's got to fix that for sure. For the time being, he's been able to keep the TCs working. Yeah, he's trying to fix that as well. See? Yeah, good hit control for Liereyy, but the lack of ballistics is going to hurt the blue player. And notice, MbL is just trying to be smart about this, have a few runners in front, and then the rest of the units to fight from behind. Unfortunately, he was fighting uphill still. And now he's bringing the villagers over, and the villagers were trying to create a diversion. The crossbows did not take it. And they are taking the crossmen down from MbL, so now they'll be able to take the villagers down over here. And that TC, it feels to me like it's coming up, but just barely by the skin of his teeth. MbL will be able to get the TC out, but it's going to come at the cost of a bunch of villagers going down for sure. And it's going to be the case. TC comes up, but that was not anywhere near as many losses as I thought MbL was going to end up taking, as he did still have some crossbows to reduce the numbers from Liereyy and reduce the potential for damage from the Austrian player as well. Liereyy must play on dial-up internet for once. Yeah, and the unit control for Liereyy was absolutely fantastic. He played really well. 30 is on the way for him as well. Still playing catch-up. He's behind by 12 workers. There we are. See Churisha coming in, and MbL's gonna be fine, should be fine anyway. It's got some crossbows roaming around the left hand side, trying to find some damage. And the man is already on the way. Well done. Liereyy will amp the pressure up though. Two man else. Careful there. MbL's paying attention. He's got a defensive castle on the way. The man is coming out for MbL on the right hand side. Alright. We'll see the mana shots coming over, and Lierey's doing a really good job once again with unit control over here. He's being able to dodge most of the shots, but that one is not gonna be any good. And indeed, we have the crossbows go down, Mr. Liereyy. There we go. Liereyy ends up taking the mana down without taking any losses, so the TC's going down from MbL no matter what. Liereyy, there's got Golem coming out. Is this going to be on time though? That TC's going down. Yeah. He had about 3-4 Golems over here. You know, that might actually have been enough for him to go forward and take at the very least 2 of these manas down, I think. Yeah, now he's coming in. I guess we are going to find out. Okay. He's sending 2 up in the north, sending 3 actually down south. He's gonna try and get the raids going. Still finds himself ahead by 13 workers or so. And here come the Gulam. Yeah, and with 4, actually, he might have been able to get 2 manas down. With 2, it's definitely not enough. Down the south's got 3 additional ones. And there we are. Gulam on the way now for MbL as well. He's taking on the Knights. He's doing a good job actually. He's going to end up cleaning the easy on this up. Liereyy. He's got the Magnus 4, he's got the Crosses 4, he's going to try and take on the Archer ranges. And yeah, I noticed that MbL did go for the 1 cover the Archer over here, then he decided against it. So he's got all 3 Archer ranges over here queued up. Or actually not queued up, he's got them garrisoned. And yeah, Liereyy doesn't really know what's inside. Now he can see it, however. We're gonna see MbL go for a 4 castle. He's trying to go for a defensive castle himself as well. And MbL's looking stronger. I did say I was expecting this to go in favor of Liereyy by a bunch, right? I was expecting this to be probably 3-0, maybe 2-1, still in favor of Liereyy, but MbL certainly bringing in the heat. The castle will get denied for the time being, or at the very least delayed. As MbL gets pushed away from here, he still retains his worker lead. Gonna get the castle up, however, and is Liereyy gonna try and take the foundation down? Yes, yes he will. No petards over here instead. It's going to be the Magnus. So many idols for MbL? Quite a lot. His worker efficiency in the last minute has crumbled down to 40% or so. But interestingly enough, because he's got a higher worker count, the gathered time, right? The working time in the last minute is actually not that much better for Liereyy compared to what you would probably expect just by taking a look at the percentages of worker efficiency. Village on the way for MbL as well, Liereyy. Not particularly close. Going up. The castle? Yeah, the castle's going down for sure. MbL will have to sacrifice a bunch of villagers to get it up, and not something is really in a position to do so. Beautiful. Castle gets deleted. Extra TC comes out for MbL. He's not realizing the ball is though. Now he's gonna try and garrison the villagers. There was a lot of knights over here for a very big portion of time, and a lot of villages did go down in the end. Tower's going down as well, while MbL finds himself in the Imperial significantly earlier compared to Liereyy. What does he have to show for it? He's got 12 Golem. He's got a Trebuchet on the way. He's gonna try and take the castle down. He's got another castle on the way as well. And what else? Well, they're saying not much of anything really. Nice defense. MbL takes the 3 manas down from Liereyy. Completely unattended. A little bit uncharacteristic of the Austrian, but Yeah, Liereyy doesn't doubt losing those. Now it's going to be MbL, the one to start getting the raids on. Imperial Age is coming up for Liereyy as well. Well, what is this going to entail for MbL? This is a fantastic opportunity because Liereyy could have spent a bunch of resources trying to get defenses up, and MbL already had gotten to the Imperial Age, so he should have stronger units. And he does, right? On the right hand side. He's got 2 trebuchets over here. To be fair, these are not elite Gulam, they don't have any imp upgrades, but trebuchets alone are going to make this so much harder for Liereyy to hold on against, and he's gonna get to the Imperial Age and he's not going to have a castle to go for trebuchets with. With the Chinese, we know he won't get access to bombard cannons. That's for sure. Over 2 minutes to reduce that castle. Should be fine for MbL in that case. Yes. The castle will be going down. Lierey's only committing about 6 villagers, 7 villagers to repair this one. There's 2 trebuchets, right? So the castle's going down no matter what. And MbL does not have any extra trebs coming out, but with the 2 he's got right now, so long as he's able to protect these, he should be able to go and take the castles down. What will Liereyy get access to in the Imperial Age that will allow him to fight these guys off? It's gonna have Cavalier, right? It's got some knights right now. It's been going for pretty heavy knight production, so it's gonna try and make a play for Cavalier. And MbL can try and make a play for camels himself, right? It's gonna have some of the best camels in the game. Potentially even Pikeman himself, but Pikeman against Cavalier, not the best. Definitely want it to be the camels, most likely. Beautiful, Lierey's push. It's starting to shape up over there a little bit, but I don't see any extra units coming over, and I don't see any attention over here that Lierey's paying to the unit, so DC will clean the guys up. Boy, not ideal. Hey, there we are. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, the bot's not really working for some reason. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's working now. And the Cavalier coming out. Meanwhile, Lierey's got a lot of momentum over here with the units. MbL. He's going for a heavy camel. This is what we're talking about. He's expecting to see Cavalier. Well, he's going for camels, but he might not have expected to see this. Otherwise, he probably would have gone for the upgrade earlier. Instead, he's just been going for full-on Gulam production instead. And that's going to result in a lot of losses. Heavy camel, yes. There's a castle on the way for MbL. Left hand side. They're just gonna get the raids going over here and take a look at this. Well, the game just a few minutes ago was looking so much better for MbL. Liereyy kept these knights secret. Cavalier now, of course. And he's able to get a counter push that would allow him to get ahead in population by a lot. Lierey's getting to 200 population, everyone, while MbL, on the other hand, still struggling big time. Right now on 103 workers, probably going to continue going even lower than that. 29 military units in the Gulam. The Gulam won't do anything against the Cavalier, so he was waiting for the heavy camel upgrade to come in, but that took a lot of time. And Liereyy was already raiding around the north of MbL's base. He was already sending extra Cavalier in to continue raiding the top of the Mount Kilimanjaro, while MbL on the other hand's gotta wait for a bunch of upgrades, going for bloodlines only now. And there we go. Looking overall pretty good. Fantastic. The Camels are finally cleaning out the Cavalier at the center. Meanwhile, back home, MbL does not losing a bunch of villagers over here, though. Villagers that were collecting stone, I would presume. And the Light Cavalier coming in very soon. Yes, sir. Extra castle on the way for Liereyy, and he still remains significantly ahead in population. MbL's trying to kill camels for dear life. He's trying to go for as heavy camel production as he can. But it's not going to be fast enough. It's got only 4 stables working. His economy is not really going to allow it to go for much more than that. Even now with a light cavalry roaming around the back of MbL's base. Doesn't seem like his economy is going to get any better, right? He's gone down from 103 villagers 2 minutes ago, from over 100 down to less than 90 for a moment over there. And it's probably going to go under 90 one more time. Yes. And the military count is nowhere near as strong for MbL. Population overall might still drop under 100 for the Norwegian player, and he's gotta try, guys. Remember, there was only a 3-0 possible result for MbL to still remain in the race for the Platinum League over here. Otherwise, Liereyy is going to relegate MbL if he goes on to take as much as a single game of the series. And it's looking very much over, yes. But MbL, the tardigrade of AoE, of course, is going to continue to survive. Albeit just by a little bit, and it seems to me like Lierey's very soon going to put up an unstoppable army. He's got Halberdier coming up, more like cavalry, right? And the Halberdier will take care of the camels. Like cavalry will take care of everything else, and MbL goes on to call it GG as his population crumbles under 100. We're gonna see Liereyy take game number 1 in the series. Well done. And as such, MbL's chances of still staying in the Platinum League will vanish. Military, better KD for Liereyy for sure. Better than 5 to 3 KD ratio. Economy, we'll see a stronger economy for Liereyy as well. About 17,000 extra resources, a little bit more than that. And of course, a much higher villager max count, in addition to much lower villager losses over here, right? He ended up losing 27 villagers compared to 133 for Liereyy and MbL respectively. It was just continuing to get much worse from this point onwards for MbL. You can see the landslide over here, while population was looking pretty good for MbL at points. He wasn't really able to suppress Liereyy ever. The bull player bounced right back up. Well done. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The part-time job is very enjoyable, thankfully. And it does adjust to my current content creation ambitions very nicely as well. So it's good. I wouldn't have considered taking another job if it weren't the case that it was going to allow me to continue making content at the very least for the rest of this year. So Lierey's playing yellow over here. We have red for MbL. We are going to switch colors to what we had before. So blue for Liereyy, and MbL is going to be in the red. I think this is what we had, right? I think MbL was playing green and Liereyy was playing blue, and then I moved MbL down to the red color. I think, yeah, this is what we get. Oh, was it the other way around? Actually, now I don't remember. What was Liereyy in the blue or in the red in the previous game? I just want to keep consistency. Anyway, Lierey's playing with Britons for game number 2. He's going to get 25% faster working Shepherds. He's going to have also a 50% wood discount on TC starting in the Castle Age, in addition to 1 and 2 extra range on foot archer units in the Castle and Imperial Ages, except for skirmishers. Team bonus on the other hand, team bonus will be 30% faster working archer ranges. MbL on the other hand, with the Berbers, gets 10% faster moving villagers. He gets 15 and 20% cheaper stable units at the Castle and Imperial Ages, while for the team bonus, It will have access to Genitor, and it's gonna be about it. Well, moving on to map generation. We find that Mr. Liereyy, he's got the main goal on the back. He's got secondary goals up in the north and on the left-hand side. We're gonna see the other the stones actually. The main stone on the left-hand side, secondary stone towards the south. While for MbL, on the other hand, we'll see for the red player the main gold on the right-hand side. Secondary golds will both be towards the south, as you can see. And for stone, we have the main stone on the back. We have the secondary stone on the right-hand side. Should be pretty easy for him to wall off. As a matter of fact, he already has a house over here, so it shows intent, and it's probably going to be something like this. The cliff on the right-hand side is going to make it a little bit easier for him to wall himself up, and by going for something like that, he will be able to effectively secure the main gold, the main stone. Berries, not so much. Secondary golds or the secondary stones, unfortunately for him, or any wood lines. But the minerals at the very least will be protected. We have a pretty similar situation for Liereyy as well. If we were to see the blue player go for something like this, he would be able to secure the main gold. Not so much the stones, right? These will be kind of exposed here, up in the north. And on the left-hand side, we have the secondary golds. Yes. We're just going up to the fuel H the first. MbL seems like he's gonna try to fast castle. Well, MbL, I don't know how much the money is going to motivate him to try his hardest in games number 2 and 3. Technically, he can get up to $80 by winning games 2 and 3, right? It's gonna be $40 a pop. But it's not going to change the standings. In any case, MbL is getting demoted no matter what. So I'm just curious, is still going to try his hardest because of the money? Is he going to try his hardest to try and win the series still, to maybe, you know, go with a bang? Maybe on the other hand. Yeah, the only thing that's still kind of up in the air for Liereyy is whether he's going to finish second or first. If he gets clean sweep, that's going to be first. If he gets any other results, it's going to be second. There we go. MbL's getting to the fuel H himself. Taking significantly longer, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a fast castle whatsoever. It's going up on 21 population, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a play for scouts either. It's not a play for archers. I mean, he does have an archer range on the way, but he does not have any gold miners. And Liereyy is pretty well aware of what MbL's got and what he doesn't. I don't know, it's kind of awkward, and I'm not really sure exactly what to expect from MbL over here, Liereyy. Liereyy, he is fleeing from this area. And eventually the blue player is going to find himself completely walled off as well. So MbL, if he just continues playing defensively over here by having gone up to the fuel H on a stronger economy, he probably is going to be the first player to be able to click out to the castle H. That is assuming that he manages to defend against Liereyy just fine. And he's got the skirmishers. So expecting to see archers, so he went for the archer range for skirmishers. Nothing to go forward with, really. And yeah, he's doing a good job. He should be able to defend himself over here, and he's doing it. Now Liereyy, on the other hand, is going to start going for some skirmishers himself, and it seems like he's going to continue trying to put a little bit of extra pressure, right? He's got the 3 archers, He's got 2 skirmishers.
Ready.
And it seems to me like that's going to be about it for the most part. Yes, sir. Pretty uneventful for the most part during the fuel age. Once we get to later stages of the game, the Britons are going to get very, very strong as the game progresses because of the extra range. They have also the full blacksmith available to them, so they can make a play for infantry and try and prevent MbL from getting to too high numbers with cavalry, even if he gets a discount to produce stable units.
Mandatum. Ready.
Yeah, and MbL, he will be completely walled off. Oh, and he does secure the stone. That is beautiful. He does secure the stone. He does secure the gold. Yeah, this is what I was expecting him to go for. Wasn't really sure if he was going to. Liereyy, on the other hand, on the right-hand side, is actually walled towards the edges of the map. This is very similar to what I was expecting him to go for as well, and he does end up securing the gold. He does not really secure the stones 100% yet. But yeah, it's still going to suffice for him to get the peace of mind, right, that he needs at the very least early on. Access to gold is the only thing that he needs, and wood, obviously. It's very unlikely that MbL will be able to push him away from these resources, so once he does eventually get to the castle age, he'll be able to make a play for the TCs elsewhere. Could potentially go for one around here. Could potentially go for one around here, perhaps, or maybe even here. Here would be not the best. I think, yeah, probably around here. Probably around here, or maybe around here on top of the hill. Depends on what he would prefer, but definitely plenty of options for the bull player. Definitely vibe outside the stone and wood line. Right. Hey, Meerkat. You can protect the wood line like that. Yeah, that could definitely be a possibility for sure. When the TC's in front, it's gonna be much harder to push any villagers away from resources being collected from behind the TC, right? And MbL's going out to the castle age a little bit earlier compared to Liereyy, and it does come from the stronger economy that he had when going out to the field age. And how much of a lead does he get to the castle age, actually? It's going to be a 40-second lead for MbL, so by the time he does get to the castle age, it's actually going to be much higher than that. What am I talking about? Yeah, for MbL, he's going up 54 seconds faster. So after he gets up, if he does start producing the units, by the time Liereyy gets to the castle age, MbL should already have a good chunk of knights to potentially go forward and put some pressure with. As Lierey's playing with Britons, he won't really be able to make a play for camels, and that means that MbL will only have to worry about the possibility of archers, maybe spearmen. And Liereyy has not really been going for spears whatsoever. He's got a good amount of archers though, so MbL needs to mass a couple knights before he's able to go far, right? Before he's able to go out into the open and be able to effectively surround the units from Liereyy. However, he does have skirmishers in addition to the knights, and he's bringing those in as Liereyy is still on his way to the castle age. Skirmishers versus field age archers is not going to go in favor of Liereyy and MbL. MbL is under a lot of pressure over here. We have the scouts and the archers with a hill advantage. MbL does not have padded archer armor. Those skirmishers do not really deal the best, but he's trying to go back towards the hill. He's bringing the knights over right now, and he's turning around, trying to go after the archers, and he's gonna do it. Well, Lierey's going for the crossman upgrade, 10 seconds away from it. Many of these are going down, of course, the archers. But those knights will get cleaned up in the end. That is what I'm talking about. MbL needs to mass a good amount of units before he's able to get a proper surround against his archers. Even if he had the skirmishers, the aggression was not enough, but it was worth trying for MbL for sure. So can't blame him for that too much.
Mandatum.
Similar though, what about outside the walls on the other side of that top wood line? Big hill bonus for defense from siege. What do you mean? Like TC around here? I would imagine, yeah, that would definitely not be affected by the hill advantage, right? From siege, but I would imagine a leader will be more interested in defending the extra resource, the minerals. So he does have the second TC coming up right next to the gold. And it's going to be downhill though, and MbL could very well take advantage of this. It's going for a 4 siege workshop. And then the third TC, if Liereyy were to go for it on top of the hill over here, actually be able to defend against the siege, we'll see. He's got almost enough resources for it. It seems to me like he's trying to save for the third TC. Meanwhile, MbL is just going to continue going for more and more knights. He's got a third still on the way, so if that is not an indication of full knight play over here, I don't know what is. And it should be. He is going for it. Light cavalry on the way. Well, yeah, full cavalry production, right? It can be knights, it can be light cavalry, so long as he gets the numbers that he needs, it's fine. We're just collecting the relics. And he's got the resource to go for the third TC. Where is he gonna place it though? Not going for it yet. Genitor is a play if possible, right? Genitor? I wouldn't really bank on the Genitor. I think Knights will be the stronger choice over here. A good amount will still get us around going against the crossbows and we'll clean those out. The Genitors are going to be good specifically against the crossbows and then they are going to kind of suck against everything else. While the Knights are going to be a much more versatile unit. They can take the crossbows down, but they can also take DCs down. They can raid pretty effectively, and here comes MbL. He's gotta be careful. He's got chain barded armor, yes, but this is the hail Liereyy is sitting on top of. More units are coming in from MbL, and he's going for full production, guys. If he cannot keep production going for just knights, can also make a play for light cavalry. These guys are still going to have 2 base pierce armor with a chain barded armor upgrade. That's going to be +2/+2, so they're not going to be quite as strong in terms of the attack. They're not going to be quite as resilient in terms of the HP, but they're still going to be a pretty sensible meat shield, especially for the cost. For MbL's knights to work out of. Let's see, workshops here. Battering rams on the way for battering rams. Doesn't want to risk going for Magnus against Britons because of the extra range from the crossbows. He does have a scary amount of knights though. You would expect him to go for Magnus and then still be able to get a better trade because of the knights. Lierey's going for pikes. He's finally reacting to this, but he's going for pikes so damn late. And MbL already has more than 20 knights, while Liereyy is 3 pikemen only. He's got 3 barracks as a matter of fact to produce from over here. Does not have anywhere near enough production going yet, and the 30C in the end for Liereyy went up right next to the stone to the south. But here come the knights, and this is what I was talking about. You see, like already going over there against the monks right away, trying to target the highest value units, and they will end up getting all the monks. Meanwhile, the knights over here do end up losing a few to the conversions too. So, but they will get a beautiful surround going, and MbL's got the rams on the way, extra knights coming up as well, and this is going to be a huge position for MbL. If he can get away with this, he could get away with the game. As Liereyy is trying to put a stop to the ram push. He cannot really do much of anything with the villages alone, as the knights from MbL are here as well. And Liereyy doesn't end up getting pushed away. Those crossbows up in the north do end up getting completely cleaned up And the TC. The Valiants are getting cleaned up as well. MbL continues going for more and more knights. So Lierey's got 6 military units to work with. 3 of those will be pikemen. The rest will be the converted knights and skirmishers. As the monastery is going down next, Lierey's gonna lose access to the relics. He's going to end up losing the barracks, right? The archer ancient. Great play from MbL. The patience paid off. The patience paid off, and to be fair, Liereyy, a little bit of a misstep over there. He had vision of a very large amount of knights since much earlier than he actually tried to go for the pikemen. So the numbers he had by the time MbL approached the engagement over there were not too good. Now Lierey's trying to compensate for that, right? He's going for extra barracks in the back. He's probably going to end up taking a lot of losses over here. So MbL's making a transition right now to Scorpions. Good amount of these will take care of the pikemen just fine. The knights will be able to focus. The knights and the manas will be able to focus on taking the rest of the buildings down. So MbL's getting great momentum. Liereyy significantly behind in population. Well, these players overall fairly low in population. Considering the time of the game, you're usually expecting players to get to like 100 pop or so at this point. But the full aggression from MbL and the very delayed extra TCs from Liereyy didn't really make it possible for these guys to go up in population exponentially, but they do have, however, still a pretty close pop overall. 7 extra units for MbL only. Who doesn't have enough wood to fight this, either banked up or by production? He's managed to do a pretty good job and queued a lot of pikes out though. Yeah. The pikeman will get cleaned up, but this is still going to chunk a lot of HP of the knights from MbL. Here we go. Beautiful raids coming in from MbL as well. Yeah, the pikeman might end up taking the knights down over there still. Getting a few villagers is definitely gonna be worth it for MbL still, retaining the economy lead, retaining the military lead over here. He's taking the relics out of the monastery already for Liereyy. So it's looking like MbL might actually be able to end up taking game number 2. Well, we still have some ways off before that is actually the case, but Liereyy is definitely looking the weakest right now. To be fair, that was also the case before, right? In the previous game, before Liereyy was able to completely turn the game around. But once again, if you just take a look at the population right now, military and economy, this should be, right? Definitely MbL's game to lose. More knights on the way in MbL. He does not give up on the same army composition. It's you could say a little bit stubborn, but he does have some extra scorpions coming out, so there is that. He can take good care of the scorpions. He should be able to take care of these pikemen as well. If he can keep the scorpions up, they're going to take care of the pikemen. And Lierey's going for some knights, trying to go after the scorpions himself. There we go, the knights going after the siege weapons. They will end up taking these down, at the very least one. Not quite! Not quite! Good defense for MbL. So one scorpion goes down. And Liereyy gets completely wiped out. Take a look at that. So many pikemen and so many knights going down trying to get the scorpions over there. MbL's unit control was absolutely fantastic, on point. Will allow him to get game number 2. And equalize the series over here. And once again, MbL doesn't really stand any chances of staying in the Platinum League anymore. This is going to be mostly to frustrate Lierey's results, right? Liereyy would have needed, I think, a 3-0 in order to move on to the first spot. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to take a look at the standings in a moment, but I think right now MbL's just made it impossible. But KD for MbL. He used all the siege options in that game. True, he did. But KD for MbL is going to be very close to 5-2. In the end, we're going to see for economy. Stronger economy for MbL as well, collecting about 1,000 extra resources. Society. Higher villager max count for MbL by a lot. Yeah, and once again, I don't remember what the colors were anymore. In the previous game, I think it was Liereyy playing in the blue color and MbL playing in the red color. Is that right? I think that's how it was, right? I think that's probably how it was, but anyway. Down the south, Lierey's playing with Italians. Up in the north, MbL's playing with Mayans. That means Liereyy we get 15% discount on fishing ships. He was going to have a 15% discount to go up to the next stage. 33% cheaper dock and university upgrades, in addition to 20% cheaper gunpowder units. The Italians will finally get for the team bonus access to condottieri from the barracks in the Imperial Age. Against the Mayans, probably not going to do too much, I would imagine. Up in the north, MbL playing with the Mayans will get instead 50 less food at the beginning of the game, because he does begin with one extra villager. And then on top of that, we'll see for the Mayans 15% longer lasting resources. We're gonna get for the Mayans. On top of that, 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units. The field castle and Imperial Ages, and for the team bonus, a discount on walls. I'll achieve for 620 hours last year. This was only surpassed by a Japanese DJ who I watched for 629 hours. Sounds great. Final dancer, I'm honored to be in your top 2. One thing that we did not take a look at though is the map generation, and starting with Liereyy. He will have the main goal in front of his DC towards the right hand side, towards the northeast. We have the secondary goals towards the southeast and the southwest though. So these are going to be on the back end. Because he is kind of in between both these ponds, he is closer to the one to the south, but he's not close enough to potentially wall towards the edge of the map. Instead, we're probably going to see, or at the very least not around the pond, but we're probably going to see something like this, I would imagine. Which would allow him to secure the secondary goal on the back, which would allow him to secure the berries over here as well. And then taking a look up in the north, MbL has got the main gold down the south. The secondary goals, those are going to be to the sides, on the left-hand side and right-hand side, respectively. We'll see the main stone on the back, and because MbL did spawn a little bit closer to the corner of the map, it'll be a little bit easier for him to go for something like this. Maybe some walls like this. Something like this. And by going for something like that, he will be able to secure the entire lake. One woodline stone, but not so much the gold, so it'll be a little bit of an issue. Is that a Japanese DJ that once fell asleep on his stream, by the way, Foreign Dancer? I remember somebody showed this to me some time ago. The guy was playing some music and then he kind of fell asleep in the middle of the stream. I don't know if he was doing a 24-hour one or 48-hour one or something like that, or if it was just too late into the stream. He fell asleep on stream and then woke up like a couple hours later. or so. Was that you to show me that? He's a DJ who falls asleep on stream. So it's a thing, right? He's like that DJ to do that. Alright. That's his thing. It's on the way now for Liereyy as well. It's coming out now for MbL as well. Both these guys are going for that. It happens about 2 times per month. Is that because of the time zone? The difference? Maybe he is having his streams very late into the night so that he can still, you know, share his content with the maybe the European audience. Western Asians, perhaps? Let me know. Militias are coming in for Liereyy. And MbL got the quick walls up just in time. Still open on the left hand side. Not very practical really for Liereyy to roam around because of the TC being there. He's gonna try to! And notice the moment he got close with the militias, he decided against it. But the scout did get over here though. And we see the walls coming up for MbL. He's gonna try. And Lierey's coming over. He has 4 militias right now. 4 villages, 4. So the tower is coming up for Liereyy, and that is a beautiful tower location. Remember, guys, the resources for MbL, they are not the best. All 3 resources are exposed. All 3 golds over here are exposed. The only thing he's got in the back is the main stone, but with the tower coming up over here for the bull player, well, he's going to end up pushing MbL away from the wood and from the gold. However, MbL is going for a reactive tower himself, too. He's got a defensive advantage, so he should be able to hold on over here just fine. Tries to stream from 10 PM to 6 AM Japan Standard Time. Right. Damn. Do you know what Japan's time is in GMT? Minotaurs are going down though. The last Minotaurs is gone down as well. In the end, MbL lost a single villager, but he will not take the tower down over here, pushing Lierey's villages away, and he's taking all the Minotaurs down. Was that worth it? If it were just militias, maybe it would have been worth 1 villager, but 4 Minotaurs? Feels a little bit of an oof position for Mr. Liereyy over there, I'll tell you that much. And MbL, remember, he is playing with Maya, so he already started this game with 1 extra villager. He can lose a villager over here and still find himself on the same worker count. Well, right now, he is behind, though. And I would imagine this is probably due to the fishing ships, and it's going to be the case. Yes, Liereyy does have extra fishing ships compared to the red player. And MbL does not seem to be particularly interested in going out and trying to contest any of the extra pawns, right? Seems to be kind of sticking up in the north for the most part. 2 PM to 10 PM EST. Okay. So that is a difference of 4 hours. Interesting. Right. Huh. Go figure. I would actually be able to move to Japan and still stream just fine for you guys. Because I'm a night owl. Stream from like, let's say a tournament starts at 15 GMT. That is going to be noon for me, and that is going to be like 4 PM for you. And then, like, let's say the stream is very long and it lasts until like 23 GMT. That is 8 PM for me. That is midnight for you. And that will only be 4 AM in Japan. You know what? I would actually be able to move to Japan and still stream to all of you at the same times that I am streaming these days. It's an 8-hour difference, yes, between my time in Japan. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I would definitely be able to do it. Yeah.
Shot it.
Beautiful. Finally, MbL tries to expand over to the extra pawns. He sent a villager over the right hand side in addition to the one on the left hand side. Eagles coming in from MbL. Eagle Scouts, mind you. Archers, all feudal units. Gonna go for anything else right now. But interesting to see him try to put the pressure up with this, as opposed to trying to mass the units up and wait until he gets to the castle stage to go for the Eagle Warrior upgrade, crossbows, whatever. He's gonna try and put pressure over here. I guess he probably feels also that he's maybe falling behind a little bit. You know, the score is actually higher for MbL, but Liereyy will be the first one to click out to the castle age, and maybe MbL is respecting the possibility and trying to put pressure to make sure that Liereyy is not beating him to the punch, at the very least not by too much, but it's not going to be enough pressure. Liereyy does click out to the castle age anyway in MbL. MbL is going to continue going for more Eagle Scouts. These guys take forever to train. Check that out. Liereyy is forcing to pull in a few villages over here to defend the skirmishers. Yeah, but it should be fine. And MbL could have tried to make use of the archers, of course, to take the villagers down. We're gonna see him just try and do exactly that. And can he do it though? He's got Fletching ready and he's getting the villagers down! 4 villagers down, 3 villagers down, as a matter of fact, sorry, for Liereyy. Down the gutter. And it's not going to be the only one if MbL plays his cards right. There is a donkable villager here. And there's another donkable villager over here, but MbL's not realizing he could have gotten away with 2 additional villager picks over there. But that's good though, that's good. That allows them to catch up a little bit for the worker count that was significantly smaller for MbL because of the extra water control from Liereyy. Speaking of which, we're gonna see on the right hand side, Liereyy most likely not end up getting full water control over here. It's gonna get to the castle age in 15 seconds, so you can go for War Galley and clean these units up and the docks out from MbL as well. Meanwhile, the red player has not managed to get enough resources to go up to the castle age yet. So Liereyy gets up. And MbL, he knows it's about to get significantly rougher for him despite being 1 HP behind. He's only 5 workers ahead. He's only recently managed to catch back up. Let's take a look at the gather economy time. Pretty similar for both these players, only 4 to 5 minute delta. Liereyy and MbL. But Liereyy, well, should be in a position to start pulling ahead right now anyway. Not enough stone to go for extra TCs. But he does have War Galley. And should be able to clean this up. He should be able to get full water control once again on the right hand side. And potentially, maybe try to extend to some of the other ponds. Here comes MbL though, still roaming around with the majority of the military units on land. And Liereyy seems like he went for the siege workshop over here just to intimidate MbL. And in the end, he does not really have any siege weapons coming out, so MbL is just coming right in. Like if there is nothing there, he gets to the wool line, pushes the villagers away. Won't be able to take a single one down, but if he continues roaming around, this might be rough for Liereyy for sure. This might be rough for Liereyy for sure. The gold miners for the most part will be so exposed, and MbL is not paying attention to that. At the very least, he's not going over there. If we take a look at the scouting information, he knows that there is a goal in the back. he also noticed that Liereyy was collecting gold from the front. And it's out for Liereyy.
Ashike.
MbL's going out to the Castle H. In 50 seconds is gonna be there. Lierey's got some knights finally coming up, something to take advantage of the Castle H with. On land. Oh, the mana goes down in the end to MbL's unit as well. The worker count, interestingly enough, is still higher for MbL despite Liereyy getting to the Castle H earlier and have the potential to go for raids. But it's taking him some time, right? He was defending for the most part, but now, only now, he might be able to go forward to get some damage done. He's got the knights over there, and what is MbL's reaction gonna be? First thing in the Castle H, he goes for the monastery. Did not let Lierey's much earlier Castle H intimidate him. And now he's got into the Castle H himself. He's got Eagle Warrior on the way. Awesome. There we go. The knights are finally getting an engagement. Fighting the eagles off. We have only scale bar than armor for Liereyy MbL. Let's get a good amount of eagle warriors over here. The archers with blocking arrow on the way. Be very strong for him as well. Ideally he wants to go for crossbows, but blocking arrow is already going to make these guys significantly stronger compared to the FLH archers, right? Against the knight. Siege Workshop on the way for MbL forward. It's gonna continue piling the pressure up. Liereyy has already gotten a respectable amount of knights, but he's going to need more. If MbL is to have these pikemen go down. Of course, he's gotten the pikeman upgrade just now. Oh, second TC is coming up earlier for MbL than Liereyy, despite a significant head start to the Castle Age for the rule player. This is kind of concerning though. Liereyy has struggled to get anything done. I mean, once he got up, he went for War Galley right away. It seems that the conversion is coming up over there and it's going to connect. Yes, sir, it's going to connect. But yeah, it seems like Liereyy struggled to get anything done. Once he got to the Castle Age, he's not really managed to get anything to show for it. On the right hand side, he managed to clean up the units from Liereyy, to clean out the 4 dogs from Liereyy, but he is still behind in worker count. So what does that give him, right? He still has only 11 fishing ships and MbL was on 9, right? So Lierey's behind in worker count. He's still behind the military count, and MbL was able to go out to the Castle Age so much later. Go for the second TC and be the first player to get extra TCs to work his economy with. Here we are. Beautiful. As monks come over from MbL as well, should be able to defend himself against the knights just fine. One of those pikemen. He is going for a little bit of a smush over here. We'll see the conversions coming up. That's not taking his own pikeman with the mana though, but yeah, the monks are absolutely instrumental over here. Now Lierey's got his own monks coming out as well. He's only gotten 1. I do believe this one's got Yeah, much of anything, right? Can you still lick the monk from here? Huh, you can't. But you can from here. Interesting. But yeah. With only one monk and without any good upgrades. For those, Liereyy doesn't seem like he'll be able to get much of anything done. Why produce cavalry when Liereyy makes them for that? Yeah. Anyway. 1 second. Sorry. All right. Counter raid's coming up for Liereyy. Might be able to get some good damage done, especially around the gold over here. The villagers are completely exposed and it doesn't seem like MbL is paying attention at all. So the Knights will end up getting away with a lot of damage over here as MbL realizes about this. The Knights have already been able to get 10 villagers down. But here comes MbL with a castle forward to. His pressure will be just as great. With the Plume Archers roaming around, he does have the mobility. Lireyy's been able to take advantage of for the most part. Now it's also going to be available for MbL. Yeah, and up in the north, the Knights are going to continue getting the damage done. They do eventually end up getting cleaned up though. And MbL still has some troops inside Lierey's base, or at the very least. Yeah, he's able to get the Mangonel down over there. That's good. Guess it's coming up for MbL. Hold on. That's going to kind of surround Liereyy effectively, right? Yeah. Good thing for Liereyy, MbL is not in the Imperial Age. I think this castle with Bracer might actually be able to target the TC. One on the right hand side will certainly be too far away to do any damage on the right hand side of the economy from Liereyy, but it's going to effectively surround the bull players. So now there's only one area out of which Liereyy can come out over here. Potentially maybe even the left hand side, but there isn't really too much over there for him to expand onto. Another raid's coming up, yes. Once again, the same gold! How is MbL still collecting gold from here, completely open? I just don't get it. Well, up in the north, we still have 3 extra knights roaming around, and Lierey's gotten away with a lot more damage than he was due for. But MbL is not going to drop the ball over here. He's got his own push going still. With the Warriors coming in, might be able to get the Mangonel down. And good unit control over there as well, dodging the Mango shots. The Mangols go down now. Well done. And these Plume Archers will be now the ones to take these villagers to their destiny. With Tia conversion coming up, it's probably not going to be enough, even if he does end up working out. Zaman gets pushed away over there. It does buy the villagers some time, and the TC does end up coming up. And Plume Archers were never going to deny that TC, but they were going to get a few extra villagers if it were not because of the monk. And that was pretty good unit control from Liereyy, but he does not go on the GG. And guys, MbL takes Game number 3 to take the series from Liereyy. Not at all what I was expecting whatsoever. And unfortunately for MbL, while he was looking very strong in game number 1, he was this close from getting the clean sweep. He could not do it, so getting a series over here against Liereyy doesn't really do anything for MbL. He will still get demoted. He needed to get a 3-0. But he does end up going with a bang as Liereyy loses the set against MbL. The red player can claim a victory over a much stronger opponent compared to many of his own group mates. For me, tied in, we'll see a better KD for Liereyy. Better than 3-2 for economy. Stronger economy for Liereyy. So better KD and a stronger economy. And MbL still comes out on top. Mayans are Mayans, man. They're so they are so cost effective in any case. And MbL did play his cards right, even if we did see a few slip ups here and there, especially with a gold minus, right? In the end, MbL does end up taking this one. And Liereyy, well, he takes the L, but cannot be too upset about it. I think he's still going to have around the 12 spot guaranteed. Let's go back and take a look at the standings. So we'll see for over here, right? Let's refresh. We'll see for Group B that all the matches are already played, and Liereyy does finish second, yes. The only loss he took was against MbL, go figure, and MbL was so damn close. One extra game, and he pushed Drakent into the demotion area. He pushes Bacti down, I think. Actually, Bacti versus MbL, how did that go? Bacti won. So if MbL had taken 3 games from Liereyy, he would have finished 4th, and he would have knocked Drakent down into the demotion zone. Bacti would still have finished 3rd, but it is what it is. In the end, MbL was 1 game too short. They were still going to finish 2nd, and MbL, yeah, is going to finish